Hey, I'm back. I had a call from one of my children. So anyway, just goodness, this Wi-Fi stuff, when you rely on that, you realize, oh wow. So hopefully messages that I've gotten to my work have gotten to them. And I know of one patient that I'm seeing today, and I just feel awful, but like, I don't know what else to do. I don't have a hotspot on my phone either. My kids keep saying I've been, texting back and forth, trying to get help, trying to figure out what to do. Because at first I thought, did we pay our Wi-Fi bill and all of that? So, I don't think that's the issue, but I don't know. But I'm gonna, attempt to do this job today. And put on my makeup with you. I have not done my skincare. I'm kind of like right at the start of everything. So anyway, I'm going to tuck my hair behind my ears, put some rose water on. So let's just get through this. And maybe by 1 o'clock, things will have resolved on the end of just being able to log into my other work. But in the meantime, let's just make the most of it and get our face ready. So happy Tuesday to everybody out there. I am putting on the Glowplexion Day Serum. So this is an anti-age complex that we all need to put into our skin. These products just back into our skin to help to hydrate it, to help it to bring back that youthful glow. And this is a product that I've started actually recently, and I'm noticing a difference even just kind of in areas where you think you wrinkle. Like I deep think all the time. So anyway, like I just have noticed maybe a little bit less of that, and maybe it's due to really doing good skincare, which I can honestly say I haven't always been the best at that, but I really do attempt and I do try to do that. So I think the more, like I said in my video yesterday, the more that you do make it a habit of taking care of your skin, the better outcome you're going to have with just results that you see on your face. I always use a moisturizer, and eventually I'm going to add to my arsenal the Younique products, but I'm putting a moisturizer on first. These have smaller molecules in them, so you want to put your serum on first, your moisturizer, so that they can get into your skin really deep and hydrate. So, next thing I'm going to put on is eye cream. So I'll post everything. I was amazed at how quickly, my video did post yesterday. I did, I think if that was a sign from God to keep going, that was just because I think within a few hours of just trying to upload it or download it onto social media, I was able to share it out, and then I was able to put a breakdown on what I'm using, what I used yesterday for my products. So I'm just kind of massaging that into my eye here. That's the eye cream. Again, you're just adding hydration back into your skin. I had just washed my face. Normal kind of skin routine involves that anyway, where you're washing away any kind of dirt or grime or things that can settle deep down into the skin. And doing that daily. I kind of put some of the eye stuff here too. I don't know. So, okay, next we're going to put in the Younique Universal Squalane Oil. This is another hydrating type product, even though it is an oil. It's got, I don't have my glasses with me, but it's got all kinds of ingredients in here that it's going to benefit your skin and match where your hydration level normally is. Like it'll match, and just make sure your skin is at the hydration level it needs to be at. So it's a wonderful, wonderful product. So this is the daytime oil, and at night I use this the beauty oil at night. So at night I put it on my eyes and everything, but for the sake of just my eye makeup going on smoothly, which is that's what these products do, is it ensures, that your makeup will go on smoothly, but like, you have the hydration where it's not gonna, like, your makeup isn't gonna like sit on top and just really be apparent that you have like makeup on. So do that. And what's next? I'm going to spray. I'm using this as my primer right now. It is a prime and set mist, which I used for both. At the end, I set everything, with this. Looks like I have some product on here, some blush. We'll get that off. So hopefully I will hear back from my work. I'm even doing my eyes, to prime my eyes. For some reason I had, actual primer that you put on your eyes from Younique, and I don't know where it is. And in actuality, I need to look on the site to see if they even sell it anymore. For some reason, in Cara Lewis Newton's videos, I haven't really seen her put the eye primer on recently, and maybe I'm just missing something. I maybe missed one of her videos where maybe they just discontinued that, but I need to really do my research and figure out if it's still a product. But I don't remember, I was down to the very bottom part of mine, so I don't know if I ran out of it and threw it away. But I'm not one to just kind of just throw things out, without putting a mental note that I need more of it, So anyway, we're going to go in and I'm going to kind of add a third layer to my eyeshadow look that I've been doing. So I'm going to use the Reverent liquid eyeshadow again and blend that out. And then I'm going to use a little bit, since I'm wearing a little bit of gold today. I actually have some gold sandals on today. I'm excited about those. So I'm going to put a little bit of a touch of the gold on my eyes as well. And from the Rose Tone palette, that pretty champagne kind of sparkly color here. So stick with me. It's going to be a fun little, beautiful little application that we're going to do to the eyes. Excuse me, my pollen is just everywhere in Alabama. It's kind of like our snow down here, like it is in the north. I can say that because I did grow up in the north, and I remember going to school in 16 inches of snow. Although we don't have that much pollen here, it's just, it feels like it. It feels like it for sure. Okay, so, and despite all the allergy kind of stuff that I'm on, it just really, I think affects everybody. Not just me with the allergies and the asthma. Okay, so I am just taking a fluffy crease brush and just blending it out. The more that you kind of blend, the more it just looks more natural. But I'm adding some contour in with that Reverent, like I did yesterday. So it's similar, to the look yesterday. I'm just adding another kind of middle layer to my eyeshadow look. And you'll soon see what I'm doing. But again, just kind of putting this in, kind of more of in like a V, kind of just, motion here. So I'm excited. I had actually 2 invitations, and thank you, Kathy Ricks, for like inviting me down to the beach, because I was actually, my husband said, why don't you just go after work on Friday? Because I'm, with these internet connections today, I was just, oh my gosh, I'm panicking. So I'm not quite ready to take my Nourish outside of the house yet. I'm not that trusting just yet, but eventually, the plan is like I'll be going to Illinois in May to just stay with my mom and sister while my sister and brother-in-law go to a wedding. They're going far away for that. So it's, someone needs to be with my mom for medical reasons. I just enjoy being in her company. So any excuse I can go to see my mom, I'm going to do that. But, this working remotely has given me some opportunities like that where I'm going to be able to like take my work remotely. I don't know if eventually we'll be moving to Alaska, but, my husband has some work there too that keeps him busy. So, along with work here in Alabama, he's one of the hardest. He will always be kind of one of the hardest workers I have ever known. And I'm just really grateful for him for all that he provides for us and, gives to our family. But anyway, where am I going with this? So I was just excited, that I had a beach offer to go down to the Gulf Shores beach area. And then my daughter texted me this morning and she says, do you want to come and visit me? She's living up in Tennessee. So it's like, oh, the opportunity to go see my daughter and have her like invite me to come. I'm excited. So I had to message Kathy this morning, and I thought, I hadn't messaged her yet about Friday because I was still kind of thinking on stuff. I knew I didn't want to like do it during the work week yet, but eventually we're going to get that set up, Kathy, because I really want to come down. And thank you for like supporting me and just watching my videos and just always commenting or giving me a heart or a like, or, those that have shared out. I can't really like see who does that, but I do really appreciate that kind of support. And I feel like it's a different day compared to yesterday. I don't know. I can't explain it other than just, I'm trying not to let the negative kind of set in where it's going to be like, why are you why this, why that? That only gets us into like a cycle of just never ending whys, and I'm just trying to take one step at a time, one day at a time, thinking of more of the positive things that, could happen. Like, I can go for a walk maybe if I can't get, connected to my other work today. I'm just praying, that somebody gets that message. I have a Nourish RD friend already that's just wonderful. She's been like a mentor to me, and she's a mentor, it seems like, on LinkedIn to other dietitians. And I have messaged her, so I hope, in the midst of all of that someone's getting my message that, I'm trying to get online, and hopefully, by the time I'm done with this, I'm going to check stuff again to make sure, because I do have a patient today and I care about like being able to actually get on. But what I did is I put a little bit of gold kind of just right in the middle here, okay? And on the other side. So I'm going to blend that out. The key really is that you do blend your eyeshadows so that it kind of just all, falls together, looks put together. Just kind of blend it a little bit, but the gold just gives kind of more of a pop to the eye. In addition to, I'm a sparkly girl, so I just, I'm going to add a little bit of the champagne color from the rose palette, kind of on that inner edge. And again, more of like a kind kind of eyeshadow look here. And that's going to be kind of the main color, I guess. Although, and see, the eyeshadow's getting everywhere. So that's why I do my eyes first, because I can clean up all that with like the concealer, the foundation, all of that. So I do tend to do my eyes like that, and I mentioned that in my video yesterday. So I'm adding a little bit of that champagne color, just kind of to the inner edge here, and kind of a smaller triangle than I did yesterday, but kind of like doing, you know, like right down like that way, and then kind of all the way inwards. But apparently I think Katie has something for work where she needs to take some nature kind of pictures over the weekend. And so I'm excited. Maybe we'll do a little hiking and I know I had mentioned she's getting ready to kind of take a promotion closer to home, and I'm excited about that. Although she's got to kind of keep the office together somewhat since her boss has left their company. And Katie's always been a mother hen. She, you know, at home with her siblings and with work, she is just one of those old souls that you just can count on, and just like, you know, she has a wealth of information inside of her, just very wise beyond her years. So I just appreciate all those qualities about you, Katie. Okay. You know, with the gold, you can kind of barely even see where the champagne color is, but it's a little bit lighter, and it just kind of, you know, so you have the contour here and you have kind of the brightness just to kind of really bring out your eyes more. And so we're doing that. I know it kind of looks like, ooh, what is she doing? What is she doing on her face? So just stick with me, trust the process. We're going in and we're going to put some concealer, which I'm not using a Younique product just as of yet, but I have used their products and I love them. You know, you find ways in your budget to try to work in things that you love. I can't say that I have my staple items that I just have to have all the time, you know, such as like this is one of them, you know, that I always have on hand. I always have the setting powder on hand. I can kind of muddle through any kind of eyeshadow look if I need to. You know, I happen to just not have, like, I've had maybe 4 different foundations from Younique at once, where you kind of, well, you know, maybe my skin type is kind of drier today. I'm going to use more of like the liquid foundation. You know, so you have extra choices that you can use, but like this has always been kind of a stronghold that I kind of fall back on. It's actually, I think I've only purchased this once, and I mean, there's a ton of it left, you know, so the products that you do buy just last forever. So I've been using Younique for over 3 years now, and that's one of the first things that attracted me to Younique in general was the stick foundation. So you notice I didn't put any of the concealer just right directly under the eye. What that does is it's going to draw out more of your fine lines, wrinkles, all of that you're trying to conceal. What I'm doing is I'm lifting up my eye, like I'm, you know, using that as a tool. Do you see kind of how it lifts up the eye and cleans up that makeup, which I had some kind of spillage here with some of the shadow that I was putting on. So I'm able to just kind of swipe up, which brings up the eye, and just kind of swipe down, which, you know, gives you kind of a facelift without getting a facelift. And then I'm going to like just on maybe some redness in different areas. Looks like my pimple is almost gone, like right above my eye. Okay, so that's the concealer. And then you notice I just kind of blended whatever kind of remaining might have been on there to kind of blend this and this together. We're not like more of the product was here. It's not like it's going to be most of it here, if that makes sense. I need to clean brushes again. It's about that time. I think I'm overdue, actually. I don't know. I do kind of probably need to set, like, put it on my calendar, my actual calendar, clean your brushes. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is do the, and I've lost it. Like, I just had the foundation. Okay, y'all. What did I, here it is. Here it is. Okay, yay. I knew it wasn't far, or couldn't have run away from me. So here's the foundation I'm putting on. So it is a stick foundation. From what I can understand, I think the last time I looked at the website, you can still purchase that. If you need a color match, I will honestly say I don't know exactly how to do that. However, I have connections, so I can seek out help from either Cara Lewis Newton, or there's a sweet girl that I've been talking to from the Atlanta area who does what I do. She actually has done it a lot longer, and she earned a trip. So I am just like, oh my goodness, congratulations. You know, it's a big deal, you know, to, because she said she set out not really having goals like that, where, you know, I think she just loves the products too. You know, from what I gather, I've been watching some of her lives as well, and she's just a joy, and has been very helpful to me along my journey of just something very new to me that I'm just like, huh, where do I navigate to next? Like, what's the next step? And can honestly say I didn't really ask her about how to put my links on my, you know, my posts and all that, but it's going to eventually work out. And I have such excitement doing these videos. I can't even explain, just, like the joy that it brings me, the joy that I hope, you know, it's bringing you, just to know there's, you know, you can find joy just in putting on your makeup, or just finding a product that you really love that, like, I just want to share it. So anyway, so you saw that I kind of blended that out just with tapping, and, you know, tap until your arm hurts. But that is a good technique, especially for older age skin like myself, where my kids say, stop saying that, Mom, like, you're not old. But, you know, I'm turning 53 on the 16th of April. You know, it is midlife for me. So, you know, you start thinking about stuff like that. Anyway, you know, I'm not going to wish away my future, and I'm just trying to live in the present, like, to enjoy the present, and just, you know, just enjoy life. Have fun. You know, life is too short to just be, you know, all the time. You know, it can drive you crazy. So that's why I'm just thankful for this time in my life. I just really, God has brought me here for so many reasons, that to build me up as a person, to just keep me growing, you know, within his realm of taking his hand and just, you know, really growing spiritually, and just trusting the process, just the journey he has me on, is for the betterment of me. So thank you, Lord. Okay. We did the foundation. What's next? We're doing contour. So find your cheekbone. And then, you know, the way to do it is just to kind of do kind of a half kind of circle. You know, just putting some dimension back into your skin. It's, you know, we've just kind of flattened the whole facial color. It's one color now, you know, so we're putting in dimension again into our face, so that it looks natural, and it looks like it's meant to be like a, you know, like sun, like a sun-kissed kind of, you know, the sun coming down and shadowing like it would naturally do. But so we're adding that back in. I'm using the stick blush, and this is the Barely Bronzed. So as you can see, I'm just like tapping it, kind of tapping it up, swirling it. I don't know. I kind of tend to do a little bit of both, I guess, with just this part of it, right under the lip to just kind of draw out the lip a little bit more. And then on the sides of and I forgot to kind of put it on the tip here, but a little bit on the tip just to give a little bit more dimension. And then, you know, of course, to thin out, thin out more of the chin area. Okay. Now next we're going to add some color, and you know, you're seeing the same one over and over again, but I love this color, and eventually I'll add more to my arsenal too. And at one time I did have more colors. Like I try to at least have 2 to 3 on hand where I can, you know, choose from. I do tend to like the peachy colors too, which we do have some really pretty, just, you know, colors in general. So don't be afraid to look on our website for what you're kind of used to putting on your face. I guarantee you will not regret trying these products. First time I put them on my skin, I'm like, oh my gosh, where have you been all my life? Just with how they feel, and just, you know, they give you a youthful glow. It's good to put pigment back into your skin, because as we age, we lose pigment. And so don't be afraid, like I said yesterday, to put color, like to put bold colors on, you know, to bring out kind of that youthful glow, you know, that we're kind of trying to achieve with these products. Okay, so that's the color. I'm going to go in with my setting powder, which again, is one of my favorite products of Younique. So this is like Photoshop in a bottle. We have different brushes for each little thing that we do here, and it does make a difference. But you don't need a whole lot of this. It is water molecules encapsulated by the powder. So as it goes on the skin, it has this cooling effect, almost like you're jumping into like a pool. I feel like it every time, just like it just, you know, just that refreshing kind of feeling of just, oh, I could go for a swim, you know. Seriously, like when Cara Lewis Newton started describing this, when I first like was looking at these products, I'm like, she's crazy, you know. She's like, really, you know, it feels that good on the skin, but girl, you know, it really, you just have to try it to believe it, and believe me, you'll thank me. So this also just helps to set your makeup, where helps your makeup to last throughout the day, like without going into the crease and wrinkles, where normally, you know, if you don't set your makeup, you run that risk of just, you know, makeup settling into your fine lines and pores, and just, you know, you can see where the creases are or whatnot. But this keeps everything at bay, just keeps it all set in. And you can even use this product kind of at the end of the day when you know, you've had, your skin has kind of like settled more and it's starting to maybe kind of wear down. Apply this again, and it's like you set your makeup, you know, momentarily ago. You know, it was, so it's a good, really good product. Said, I really can't say enough good things about these products. But, you know, the good thing about it is these products, you don't have to use very much of them to achieve what you need to achieve if you're doing it kind of in a correct fashion where, you know, you're using your primer, you know, to start where you're not using technically a whole bunch of makeup. So in the long run, you actually really are saving money over time because, like, you know, some of these last 6 months or more, just, you know, with the amount of use you get out of it is just, it's worth it. It's really worth it. You're not having to go to the store and buy all the time. So I never have to worry about that. I usually add a little bit of just a tinge of color back in. Just, I like that dewiness, that glowy kind of appearance or look. And so that just kind of adds in just a tinge more of color. But then also, you know, our products have a little bit of dewiness to them where it's, where it gives that impression of just youthful, like youthful, young skin. Okay. All right. And then now I'm going to put on, and I did this yesterday. Let's see. I'm gonna use the Frosted Flurry Frost for my highlight. So I do it right on top of the cheek, down the nose, and then right above my lip. So what that does is it just, like you got the sunshine gleaming down on you. It's just gives you that much more of a glow where draws the eye to those areas which you want to kind of highlight, which is why they call it highlight. I just love the function of all of these. So just kind of like painting a picture, right? What's next, friends? We're going to put mascara on. So again, you know, I really feel like my lashes have grown so much from this product, the Borboleta, which is actually restocked as of yesterday or today. So you can go on this site, you can use this as a product towards like 3 items. It can be anything from any of the shops that I have on there, from Younique to Fancy to Borboleta to, you know, Younique. Did I say that one? You know, any of those is eligible for 3 products. Even the Younique nails. So these are the French cut, French style, classic French Annas. You could get 3 nail sets and get a free product, which is the blurring primer. And, you know, what that does is it, like I mentioned, you know, your skin is porous. So if you're not putting a primer on, kind of like what you would put a primer on the walls, where you would end up using a whole bunch of paint because like your walls just have a bunch of pores in it and it's going to keep sopping up any kind of paint that you put on there. But the primer, you know, helps you to like, okay, we just need 1 coat after this, you know. And same thing with your makeup too. If you're not putting a primer on, then you're going to end up using more product. And, you know, we want to kind of less is better, less is, you know, not, more is not better. So anyway, I put this on the top of my lashes at night. And if I forget at night, which I maybe have a couple times, then I do it kind of the next morning, but do it daily. I've already noticed a difference within 2.5 weeks of just growth, like the actual length of your lashes. This product that I'm using next has the serum in it as well, like for your lashes, but like I feel like it makes them thicker, and I think it kind of lengthens them a little bit. I mean, not to the point that this Borboleta seems to be doing for me, and like just witnessing what it has done for other beauty creators that I'm watching out there. Cara Lewis Newton, for one, like her lashes are just, oh my goodness, you know. And Brandy Rains is another one that I watch that it's like, oh wow, you know, such beautiful, like long lashes that you know, I haven't had since I was in my younger years, you know. So, I don't know. See, just even that is like, wow, you know, just lots of, and that's just one layer of this. But this is a 4-in-1 product, so it's got tubing that, like, it tubes around your lashes so that it kind of protects your lashes, but then it also just sticks on longer, and it conditions your lashes. It helps them to stay healthy and to grow. Thickness wise, I really believe, you know, that it does that. I don't know, I think this product has been around a couple years now. I remember when Carol Lewis Newton was testing it out, and she'd have to like not really get in the camera, like she had to like hide the product when she was testing it out for Younique. And you know, we saw such differences in growth of her lashes just by using this product over time. And you know, they say to give it a good 3 months with anything that you're using to kind of start seeing differences. But like with this product, with the Borboleta and with like the Quadra, you see results like, you know, I think we do kind of live in a society where we want instant gratification, but like this, you know, you definitely see results a lot sooner than you might see in other products that might be a little bit less expensive. She was describing on one of her lives, Carol Lewis Newton, another kind of serum product. I think maybe her doctor was selling this. That serum was like $200 a bottle. But, you know, this is like $53, I think, on our site. You know, it's an investment. You know, if your goal is not to like have longer lashes, which, let's just face it, as we get older, we're losing some of that youthfulness in our face, which if we use some of these products the way that they're meant to be used, it brings back some of that just feeling youthful. And again, I'm not trying to be a 20-year-old. I'm just trying to add youthfulness back into my face, you know, because I know that it has been lost over time. I knew that just looking at my 20-year-old's eyelashes a few weeks ago after we celebrated her birthday. Anyway, you know, it's just fun. It brings an element of fun back into your life. So, okay, that is the mascara. I did tried to put 2 coats of that on. Next, I'm going to do my lips, and the Patience liner is just one good one to start with. Having a hard time getting it open. My hands feel greasy. I don't know. Maybe it's the stress from trying to log into the computer today. Anyway, so you don't really want to go to the edge here. Go inwards and just, again, you know, just, if you want more of the fuller lip, I'm sure, you know, going to the edge gives you more of a fuller lip, but I do the opposite and then kind of like more inwards instead of to the edge. You know, I could have gone there, but yeah. Okay, I have something on my lip here. Okay, so, and I found the picture of my cousin's flowers that he sent me from his yard. Like I get this package in the mail and it's just like bulbs, you know, just nothing else. And there was a note in there, of course, like he's always so sweet and puts in like a handwritten note and does that on his Christmas cards too. But, you know, people like that take time to do it, and it just means so much, you know. So thanks, Billy, for brightening my day with that package. And, you know, it's been fun to watch those grow last year. And then they're starting to, like my husband was showing me those in the yard the other day. And yeah, they're gonna be good again. Okay, got that on. Let's see. I'm gonna put the Dirty Chai lipstick on. This is the Splash matted kind of lipstick where, you know, you can will this, put this in your will. You don't need a lot of it, so scrape off any kind of excess, because really whatever's going to go on the lip is going to be, it's going to last you a long time today. Okay, and then you don't want to apply it to both lips, just kind of the bottom lip. And then you're going to smooch it together. Okay, you see how that just transferred the color right onto the top lip, and you did not need to cover both both lips. Okay, so just a beautiful, beautiful color. This is actually becoming one of my favorites. I feel like it just somehow brings out my eyes more. So again, don't be afraid of color on your face. And lip gloss, of course. And then I'll get some pictures and just post my look for today, which I got on kind of later last night just because I hadn't, you know, downloaded anything yet. I am juggling, you know, another job too. So I am working full time, you know, with this job and with my other. And where I can find time for this business, I do try to do that. And, you know, again, hopefully, you know, my prayer is that we build a healthy community where self-love matters, friends, and come on board with that journey with me is just recognizing that in your life that you need to take time for you, whether it's putting on a pretty lipstick that makes you happy, or not ignoring your feelings. I'm not saying that, but just doing things that you enjoy and that you love, and not say I'll get to it later, which I hate to say it, but I kind of got into the habit of doing certain things like that, where it's like, now I'm bringing out those art projects. Now I'm bringing out that craft that I did, like needlepoint, a long, long time ago, that gave me such joy, and it's brought back joy to me just by allowing that in my life again. And I don't know why I've tortured myself for so long. Not that it's just sounds horrible that, you know, I've been horrible to myself. Not exactly, but like, yeah, I mean, it's, take time for yourself. Okay. So I'll get some pictures. I guess my hair is cooperating a little bit more. This little flippy thing, we'll see. Might need to take a hairdryer to that, but it's all good. It's all fine. But I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. We forgot to take out of the jar here today. And we might be running out of scriptures, honestly. Let's see. Here we go. Here's one. Might have to dig into the Bible and start writing some down. But from the fullness of grace, we have all received one blessing after another. John chapter 1, verse 16. So, yeah, give yourself the grace, allow God's grace to work in your life, and go out there and enjoy something that you love to do today, friends, that gives you joy. I love you, and go win the day. Bye.